Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Andre here is edenmoth.com, and finally an alien collectible, and what a nice beautiful statue this is. This is the dog alien by CoolProps and Prime 1 Studio, a 1/3 scale statue, and look at this massive wingspan. I mean, this is just incredible. And you should have looked at my face when this huge box arrived at my doorstep. I will put in some pictures right now because I didn't care to leave the box in my flat here because it's just ridiculous large. Probably the largest box in my collection down in the basement. Alright, that's it for the intro. Let's go into the actual video review on the dog and follow me through. So statues aren't a usual thing on my channel, and thus I won't bother doing sections or kind of segments. So expect more kind of a showcase video with some review character. What you can see here is the Dog Alien Standard Edition head, which has two interchangeable inner jaws that I will show you in detail later on. And first impression already on the normal head is beautiful. So if you compare it to the actual box or promo shots, I would say it's almost 99% identical. So this is basically my first Prime 1 Studio piece, but my second CoolProps piece after the Gear Alien bust. I don't know why they actually collaborated on this piece, and I read some stories that they already separated their kind of collaboration. You get some basic assembly instructions, and be really careful when putting on the two portraits. You really have to get the right angle so that you don't scratch the kind of neck area there. On the back side, some nice pictures of the dog, really nice. And also beautiful is the second sheet that you find in the box, which goes around the assembly instructions. As you can see here, the DX piece is the one with the closed mouth, and here also I like these kind of foam layer instruction, how these pieces will go kind of into the box, and this will really help you because I will move soon, and I've unfortunately put the dog soon back into his box, and this will really help me when putting all the pieces back. Okay, let's have a quick close-up on the magnificent head sculpt and the inner jaw. So you actually got two inner jaws. This is the elongated one, and then you have a shorter one. Both have spiky, sharp teeth, painted in kind of a silver, which is, I think, truly movie accurate. And I also dig the actual mouth design because Giger wanted to have kind of a lip design for the mouth area, and they really picked this up if you look at this lower end, and the whole thing is actually magnetized. So one major highlight for me on the statue is also the dome itself, and it actually starts with the paint job, which is beautifully recreated. Look at these patterns at the dome area, and also this kind of blurred somehow I don't know, blended area on the back side of the dome. This is beautifully painted. Also, as you can see, the dome is really translucent, has lots of opacity. And this continues all into the front, where you basically have a really dark, glossy black area. And you don't see any seams or kind of lines going. It's just beautifully sculpted and painted. So let's do a quick flyover onto the actual dome from above. As you can see, the inner skull is really visible, and the opacity is great and really at the right points on the sculpt. So when you play with the lights, let's do this. As you can see, it's beautifully reflecting. Then when we go further down, you see this beautifully painted tiger-shaped shoulder blades. They go directly into the breast cage area. This one is also with lots of detail painted and has lots of gloss on it. And this goes all over into the lower body with the hips, thighs, and these kind of chicken legs. So having such a huge piece in hand, you definitely have to enjoy the different angles. For example, from below. Beautifully painted and sculpted, this rib area. Now guys, you really have to change the statue to the other side, because I would say this angle looks even more aggressive and dynamic. Now with the tail in its full swing motion, this looks epic. So as you can see, the tail itself nicely painted, also lots of gloss, the skeleton look going on, and yeah, it's just a massive piece. And here a quick first look at the base area. So this is basically recreating this kind of tunnel system which has been heavily used in the Alien 3 movie. And here a close-up of the other side from the head, and then we go into the tail section, this kind of blade-shaped end of the tail. And man, I just love Giger's art on this creature. I mean, from what I know, he was not even credited for the creature designs, even though he was heavily involved, producing lots of creature designs like the Bambi Burster and also kind of this creature, but they just did not give him enough credit. So then we're basically going to the back of the creature and end up again in the tunnel system base. And look at this weathering. If you ask me, this is really nicely painted. And here you see two lights, but they don't work, it's just decoration. And further down below you have some piping with some silver and gunmetal dry brushing. On the front side you have the same metal tubes going on as on the back side. As you see, nicely weathered base, and then of course we have these 3 candles placed on the front. They don't light up though, it's just kind of a static plastic, kind of translucent candle sculpt. So it seems there's an issue that's getting more popular on this piece, where you basically have a problem putting the toes or claws flush to the base. On mine I think it totally works fine on the front area, but what I can observe is on the back side of the front left leg. Here you actually can see the socket, but you really have to be on a straight line, and if you're just from an above angle you won't notice anything. The 2 back legs, from my point of view, they're totally flush. Alright, so let's go for the secondary portrait, which is a more of a closed variant of the open mouth version, which looks also beautiful in my opinion. As you can see, they really shaped these lips a bit more pronounced compared to the open mouth version. And the cool thing is you get actually secondary kind of display base to show this alternative portrait. And you just remove the upper kind of part of the head, and the whole torso will remain as a base piece. So let's quickly turn the alternative portrait. I definitely dig this straight on design, looks just terrifying. And here from the other side, so just a beautiful recreation again of this creature's head. So this is how the display base for the head looks without the head itself. As you can see, the Weyland-Yutani logo nicely painted and weathered. And here on the back side you have this kind of light again. And here is the edition size of the deluxe version, so we have 800 pieces for the deluxe. So I'll quickly show you how to remove the portraits. So please be really careful on that section there, and then just move it with kind of a push out. It's really heavy magnetized. And then you have the empty socket. So I wondered really how they put the heads together, because it looks so nicely painted. And then when closely looking you will find a small seam going on just there. But yeah, this is as perfect as it can get, if you ask me. The procedure is really easy. You just find the right angle and that's it. Alright, and here is the alternative portrait and the statue, also here from the other side. Let's quickly turn the statue a bit. So this looks just terrific. I'm really out of words when giving my opinions on this piece, guys. So if you're kind of an Alien collector and Alien 3 is kind of a good film to you and the creature itself is really a beautiful design, I would say just don't hold back and get this piece. So this is one beautiful statue to have it performed under low light conditions, as for example the gloss that you can see is perfectly applied, and this kind of angle reminds me from that movie moment in the shower scene where the dog is approaching the one victim, pushing the inner jaw through his skull. Totally gory image work there, and then it approaches Ripley with the saliva oozing all down, and this is such a terrifying movie moment. I'm probably kind of spoiled back then in my childhood because I was only 8 years old and my parents had pay TV, and I was alone at home by myself watching Alien 3. I'm not sure if I even finished watching it because it was just so terrifying back then. And this somehow, probably made up kind of a long-lasting effect. And now Alien and also Alien 3 and this creature has kind of a sweet spot in my collection passion. Alright guys, this is it for this video review on the dog alien. Just one final shot. This is a perfect collaboration by two amazing companies, Prime One and CoolProps. If they do ever a collaboration again, I'm instantly sold, because this piece here oozes quality in every inch. I love the paint job, I love how it blends on the dome area into the actual head paint job. The pose is great, the size is impressive, and you get a lot for your money, especially if you go for the deluxe version with two portraits and an alternative display stand. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in to my YouTube channel and see you soon. Bye bye.